and welcome back to Crypto Hulk Show. Gotcha was the first one to show up. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? I'm gonna wait. Yes. Say yes, I can hear you. I had a show earlier, loud and clear. Okay, now that I know the sound works. I went from a private show and I knew, excuse me, I knew YT would do this. So it's like when I make these private shows, it's like they get pissed. So I decided I was going to open this one up because I've got I spent 4 hours to make this show. Last night, instead of having a nice evening off, I decided to do a deep dive instead. Took me 4 hours, research, trying to connect dots. And right near the end of the 4 hours, I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to have a morning show. I don't have any. I spent 4 fucking hours and I didn't come up with nothing. And then just how it always happens, right near that 4 hours, boom, 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 all this cool stuff. I'm telling you what, now I got to be careful going over this stuff. I got to be careful. So I'm gonna. I made some posts on my community page. I took some screenshots before the show because whenever I do the show, this fucking shit don't work, right? Just somehow fucking amazingly, I go to take a screenshot during a program and I can't load that shit. But when the show's over, oh yeah, no problem at all. Loads just fine. So this time before the show, I loaded this stuff and Mel Will, we really appreciate you. Oh, you're gonna love this evidence. This is fun. This is a fun deep dive. It's very short. I mean, the fact that it took me 4 fucking hours. This is three-letter agency stuff. It does. I'm not. It doesn't say which one. I didn't deep dive it enough. I'm not trying to figure out which one because that means the channel goes bye-bye. So I'm going to give you just enough information. Some of it we're going to use our imagination, okay? Because I can't unless I have my own website, but then they'll probably still shut that fucker down. I was building my own website, and then the guy that made it kind of backed out. Plus, it wasn't that good of a site. I just wasn't happy with it. Hold on, I'm getting a Monster Recover. I like these the best. The ones that say recover. Not that I have anything to recover about. All right. So somebody sent me. Let's start off. Okay, let me go to my community page so I can tell you which one we're going to start off with. If you don't have the community page, you can't click it up, whatever. It's fine. You don't need to. But it makes it a little more fun if you have the community page and you're able to look. But I can still describe it to you. Okay. Community page, go down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one. Oh, no, I got to be careful. I can't mention full names on this one. This one will get you. So if you go down to the one that says 14 minutes ago, Crypto Hulk 14 minutes ago, click on that. This is where it all started. Somebody sent me something from 2001. And it's made by a guy named Jed. I won't mention his last name. That same guy started Stellar and Ripple. Okay. This guy, he's connected all the way to the top. This guy, I can't find certain news articles on. They've scrubbed the internet of. He usually is the one walking away from the barn fire, okay? Imagine a barn and you look over and it's burning. This guy's usually 100 feet away and he's walking away and he's got a can full of gas and a handful of matches. And he just walks off into the sunset multiple times. Nothing ever happens to this guy. Okay, with that, there you can see the name of this business. It's called Meta, and I won't call it Machine. Okay, I have to speak in code because I can't just use the name of this company because they're gonna know. Somehow these people do stuff. They shut my channel off or whatever. So in 2001, a guy named Jed, the farmer, he starts a company called Meta, and I won't say Machine. Now, that's where this all started. Someone gave me this, and then I decided to do a little fancy investigative work on my own. Um, let's see. Can you still hear me? Somebody say I can hear you because my screen's looking kind of weird on the. Okay, Beverly Hills. Okay, so that's what I was first sent. Now, I did some. Where's my next step here? The next one is I looked up. Let me see. I looked up the time frame. Go to the first, second, third, fourth one. The fourth one, and you'll see a timeline. Well, it's kind of hard to see unless you blow the picture up. Which I can do on my end. At least you got the picture, so you can figure out how to blow it up on your own. I mean, blow the picture up. Oh man, see, I can't say those certain words because then, oh god. Okay, so if you look at the expanded, not the blown up version, but the expanded timeline, we're going to see this goes from 2002 all the way up to 2024. There's like little snapshots of this thing. Okay. Now, what I looked up here is Meta, and I'm not going to say Machine. That's the name of what I used to look up. And I followed it for 24 years. I went through almost every single post for 23 years on this website. What's interesting, here's how you know it's a 3-letter agency. I'll tell you, because what I've noticed from my studies is that 3-letter agencies, they're not trying to compete with other businesses. So when they make a website, they don't touch that fucking thing for 10 years, okay? It's the same fucking format, same everything. That's the giveaway. Now I just gave it away for the government people. Now they're going to have to step their game up. But what I've noticed every time I go to do an investigation, the government websites don't change. You might have some shit there for like 10 years, exact same website. Nobody changes a thing. And you know that it functions because there's tiny little tweaks here, or maybe somebody leaves a message on a message board and it was a month ago. So you know the website's still working. I don't know what they do with these websites, okay, but they offer different kinds of services. Maybe it's a way you can contact somebody without like you want to have a place where I don't know all the secret stuff that they do, but they have these websites and they use them instead of regular channels because no one's going to want to hack into some dumb shit like this, right? So no one even looks to do that. That's where they have their information. Or maybe they communicate with each other. I don't know, but thieves will go to, oh, it says US government, whatever, let's go there and try to hack in. But this kind of a site, it's off the radar. Like, no one's looking at going into Meta, and I won't say machine. No one's gonna look in that fucking shit. Okay. But if it's like IBM, whatever, okay, let's hack that shit. So that's my only guess. So you can clearly see in this website, little by little over the years, has had additions done to it. I could tell, I looked at pages and there's little tweaks all along it. Maybe every 2 or 3 years they'll add a little bit here and I'll tell you, but it's the same fucking thing almost. Boring as shit when you look through this. Okay, so now we got that done. We've got the so this machine company was incorporated and then it like fell out of incorporation. Okay, it doesn't. Yeah, spy versus spy. Okay, that's what we got going on. Now, over the past 20 some odd years, that Meta, and I won't say machine, oh, it's been around. Because now we're going to go to the Wikipedia page right here. So I had to put together this little story so that it makes sense to everybody here what I'm looking at. Now let's go to the Wikipedia page. So I looked on Wikipedia. I know that there's something called E, and I won't say donkey, and I won't say network, okay? But I knew that Jed had created that. So as I was reading about the E, and I won't say donkey, and I won't say network, I found some interesting things. It does list Jed as a developer along with some guy named Sam. And I won't say his last name, Yagan. Okay. So we know in 2000, Jed and his coworker Sam made something called E and, Donkey. It's a proprietary free. Okay, so what we got going on is file sharing. And if you think back to like the Napster stuff, Napster was a website where people could share files. Oh, sound familiar? That's what Jed was doing. Peer-to-peer file transfer, file sharing. And I want to look up something here real quick. And this happened just about the same time. The Napster and Jed happened at about the same time. Hold on, I'm doing a quick check here. Napster was a peer-to-peer file sharing, just like what Jed was doing. It was founded by Sean Fanning and Sean Parker. It was originally launched June 1999. Napster stopped operations in 2001 and filed for bankruptcy in 2002. Okay, that's on Wikipedia. I'll go ahead and just send it in case you want to look it up. Hold on a sec. Copy. Paste. So there's the Napster. Ripple and Stellar are the government contractors at work in 2000. Thank you, Dennis, for that. And from the show that I ended, thanks, Dennis, for the donation on that show that I had to end. All of a sudden, Robert Driscoll, Bobbert. Thank you very much there, Bobby, for the late fee. So there's your Napster. Now we'll go back to the Wikipedia page. Just at about the time Napster got busted, Jed comes out with a peer-to-peer file sharing network, just like Napster. Okay. Now, what's interesting, I don't have the Jed put out. I don't have the screen to share with you because I clicked out of it because at the time it didn't make any sense to me. But somewhere around that time frame, Jed on his site comes out with a warning like, warning, don't copy music using the software or something here. It's illegal. We have your IP address, kind of a deal. So I was always wondering, why did that pop up when I'm looking up this? Now I'm starting to get it. What Jed worked on was maybe he was working on an alternate file sharing, music files, and other kind of file sharing, file searching actually as well. Now this was decentralized so that there wasn't like a headquarters. So this is what Jed was doing, was using kind of like what Napster was doing, this file sharing thing. Jed was doing the same thing. Now, Jed doesn't get caught, like I said, okay? Now we scroll down. Let me find where we scroll down to. Okay, go under server software. If you go down below a little bit, okay, well, no, let's go. Okay, first we've got, I'm going to show you something here. So we're looking up the E, and I'm not going to say donkey, and I'm not going to say network. That's Jed. He made that. It's a file share thing. We could share music like Napster and all these things. And people were using it because he had a warning on there, don't copyright music and stuff. Okay. Now, if we scroll down to features, and then you see something called history, go down to successor protocols. Okay. Go to the second paragraph. To overcome this problem, Meta, and I won't say machine, the developer of the original eDonkey. Oh, now wait a second. We all thought Jed created that, didn't we? That's why he got the patent, right? Yeah. But it turns out Jed didn't create it because this right here, to overcome this problem, Meta, the developer of the original eDonkey client, developed Overnet as a successor. Oh, now that's interesting. So let's look on my page, my community tab, because I've got the Overnet picture right there. That's the first one we got. So go to the very first picture on my community tab. There it is. Overnet 0.51. The most sophisticated file sharing technology available. And if we scroll down, what is E, and I won't say donkey, and then I won't say 2000. E, and I won't say donkey, uses the same great download system as Overnet, but relies on central servers to search for files. In most cases, you should use Overnet. So let's try to make sense of this now. Jed patents E, and I won't say donkey. It's a file sharing system, but it's centralized. Overnet, which invented it, is decentralized. But all of this, according to Wikipedia, was made by Meta, and I can't say machine. See, Meta, and I can't say machine, was the developer of the original E, and I won't say donkey. So actually, Meta Machine made both. Oops. Meta made both its and Jed. So Jed didn't invent this. This is what's interesting to me. So now this isn't the first time this has happened. So when I'm studying this, Jed's done this before where he'll patent something for somebody else. We're going to get into that in a minute, okay? So I don't understand why he's patenting things. Well, because then the United States government, that's who I really think Meta, and I can't say machine is. I think that's a government agency working on file sharing, and Jed patented his version of that, but it's actually the government that made it. It gets real interesting. Now, down below, now there's some people. Okay, so the government shut down a lot of the file sharing. Meta Machine got busted. No, they didn't quite get busted. They decided to pay a fine of $30 million. I think it says that in this article here. Oh yeah, go under legal action against E and then Donkey 2000. On September 13th, 2006, Meta Machine Incorporated, the developer of the E Donkey 2000 client. So now we know it wasn't Jed. Why is Jed patenting things in his own name when he's not the one that made it? Hey, I just come up with the information. Like I said, if I get one answer, I pop up with 4 questions. What happens? Meta Machine had to pay $30 million to avoid potential copyright infringement. So Jed is out there with his E, and I won't say donkey, allowing people to have file share stuff, and then it turns out that it's probably against the law. So, but E Donkey is the one that pays the fine. Notice how Jed never gets in trouble. Okay. Now it gets a little weird. Look down where it says server software. Says Meta, and I can't say machine, abandoned development of the ED2K. That's the E Donkey 2000. They abandoned it, and then other companies came up with versions of it. Now this one's kind of a little bit interesting. Some frustrated eMule developers. Now eMule's kind of like an eDonkey, so okay. Like I said, eDonkey kind of like shut down some of their operations. So then other people came in with similar names or whatever. Okay. It's file sharing, a way to illegally copy other people's work and stuff. That's what the government invented through Meta, and I can't say machine. Jed just copied them, and Jed made millions off it. Yeah. This dude was sharp when he was like 20 years old or 18, however old he was back then. True genius. The government hired this guy probably out of high school, okay? Now, there's in 2007, a new server software was announced. It's called Satan eDonkey Server. And I'm like, what? Some trusted eMule developers received the source code of Satan eDonkey Server and stated that no spy code is built in. The Satan server software was created by reverse engineering eDonkey. The software comes in 2 versions, C++ and Java. Satan eDonkey server software is also gratis. I think that means free. So didn't mean to freak you out there on that one, but just had to And I know there's stuff with Jed that we're not going to talk about having to deal with maybe the devil, but we're going to get off that subject. Um, Jed got sued. 5Dennis123. Thanks for that donation there. Jed got sued for people stealing copyrighted music and videos using eDonkey, and he had to pay $30 million fine in a report. Now, that's what that says, but in the Wikipedia, it's saying that the Meta Machine, to overcome this problem, Meta Machine, the developer of eDonkey, that's who developed it. And as far as getting sued, there's different reports. I'm going by what they're saying here, that Meta Machine, the developer of eDonkey, agreed to pay the $30 million. So according to Wikipedia, it wasn't eDonkey that got sued. It was, and if eDonkey did get sued, Meta Machine is paying the bill. See what I mean? So this Jed guy never gets in trouble. So that's kind of what I saw here, is the government invents something, Jed profits off it, and then the government pays Jed's lawsuit bill of $30 million. Just wanted to show you that. Just all a conspiracy, of course. Now, how do we know Meta Machine? Well, we know Meta Machine and eDonkey are connected. If you look at my community page, and let's see which picture. Like, again, this all took me four hours, a lot of work. I know it doesn't seem like there's a lot, but it's like searching and searching. Go to like, okay. We got 1, 2. Well, first go to the second one. It shows Meta, and I won't say Machine. So if you're looking for eDonkey, try here. That was up for like 5 years. Okay, this, like I said, Meta Machine website thing, it's very bland. It's been the same thing. So you can see here where they're connected. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's links. When you go for Meta Machine, there's links, and you'll see the eDonkey. But then if you look a little bit closer on like the fourth picture, let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 5. Go to the fifth picture. 35 minutes ago, fifth picture. It shows you for eDonkey. Click here. And now I'm going to show you something else. There's a company called Hind and then Site, okay? They're the ones who made Meta, and I won't say Machine. Now it gets even deeper, because what the government does is they have these shell companies. So before I lose you, you've got E, and I won't say Donkey. He's like at the bottom. That's Jed. Above him, you have Meta, and I won't say Machine. They're the ones that developed the E, and I won't say Donkey. But then on top of Meta, you've got Hind, and I won't say Site. See what I mean? 3 layers right there. Because if you look at the picture I sent you, it talks about Hind, Sites, and then Meta, and then I won't say Machine. See, Hind Sites has an apostrophe S. It's showing that they made Meta, and I won't say Machine, which then is the E, and I won't say Donkey. See what I mean? Now we've got 3 layers in here. Then I started saying, what the hell is going on with this, right? Because Crypto Hulk's out there digging away, spending my whole evening like a madman. So I look at a company called Hind, and I won't say Site. I showed you a picture of that. Let's go to that picture. Let me take a look if I can find the screen. Okay, there's that. It's the one, two, third picture. So click on the third picture. Now we're looking at the same thing. Here is the company of all companies. Okay. Here's like the top of the food chain, the shot caller, whatever you want to call it. It's called Hind, and I won't say the word site limited. I looked up this company. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. So it shows they have offices in Denver and Michigan. There's no addresses. Of course, there's no phone numbers. There's just an email. Now, I thought that was rather interesting because this is like the main company and they're not giving you a phone number or an address. Like, what the hell, right? But if you look down below, you'll see their website, http://hsltd.us. It's a .us website. Now, I did a Wikipedia on that as well. Let's look up, if you have a .us website, let me give you my Wikipedia link right here. Hold on a second. Now remember, all this is dealing with JED. And of course, their website's not going to work, you guys. That's why I'm here to show you they had a website and they deep sixed it, meaning they buried it. At least I'm able to have proof that they had one to begin with. Now, if you go to look up this company called Hind, and I won't say site, and then limited, they destroyed that. So you cannot find it. That's another way you know that it's the government. Because if it was like a regular business, I could find it. There's old records of so I'd find something. I'm finding nothing. And I'm like, whoa. When you get to a point in your research, I have pretty decent research skills, not the best in the world, but they're actually pretty good. I can't find shit on this company. And I'm like, aha. And after being unsuccessful for 10 minutes to find anything really good and juicy on this company, I noticed that it was a .us. So let's look at Wikipedia here. What is .us? .us is the Internet Country Code level domain for the United States. Oh, it was established in early, listen to this, 1985. Registrants of .us domains must be U.S. citizens, residents, or organizations. Listen to this, most registrants in the US have registered for .com, .net, .org, but instead of .us, which has been primarily used by state and local governments. Well, no wonder we can't find too much about this little company called Hind, and I won't say site because it's a .us, and those started in 1985. And state and local governments use those, buddy. Very interesting, Crypto Hulk. See? Let's see what else. I think I've exhausted all my research. Yeah, I'm done with that. So, 5 Dennis 123. You can bet your boots these are the same current XRP and XLM backers. Okay. Yeah, Google scrubbed. So, what did for people that just came in, I'm going to summarize what we found. We didn't necessarily find anything revolutionary, but we did find out that there's a guy named Jed who started a company back in 2001 called Meta, and I won't say machine, that he also started. Well, he claims he started it, but we find out now that a company called Hind, and I won't say site, started Meta Machine. Oh, wait a minute. Let me look at some here. All right. I don't have the exact page for this. Hindsight, there was a guy named Gary Robert Cook. Damn it. I wish I could find I don't know where it's at now. Hindsight, he didn't even, hindsight, this whole thing is a fucking mystery. All right. Because I think the meta, and I won't say machine, there was some other guy who started that. There was his name, and I clicked out of the screen. I'd have to go back and find it. I'm not going to. I'm done with this deep dive. If you want to go back and try to do it on your own or something. But it gives the guy's name, I think, who made Meta Machine, because it said by and then Gary Cook. I think that was his name, or Robert Cook or something. And it was interesting because he owned it. Look, all I know is you got government agencies involved in this. You've got Jed, who's super slickery, and whatever he does, he never gets in trouble. Other people always have to end up covering for him and stuff. You know, a lot of this stuff was done. Now, what the meta, and I won't say machine, was along, okay, and the hind, and I won't say site, what they were doing was a way to find, like, if you had a picture, if you had a picture, you could track the person down. Or if you had words or phrases of something, it does what they call a meta analysis. So, what they were working on, Jed and these other guys, I don't have the screens on this because I clicked out of them, but I believe it's the Meta Machine one. What it does, it was a government um, program to search on the internet. So if you had a picture, you could. Now this was back in like 2003. Okay, 20 years ago, before we even knew this technology existed, like facial recognition and all that. This is what they had. This is what they were doing back then. The Jed was. I'll tell you what. I think straight out of high school, or maybe while he was in high school, Jed's been working for the government on projects. Okay, that's what, from what I've learned, and from what I'm guessing, is that this guy, the government found him and tapped him on the shoulder at a very young age. I think he's been doing stuff for the government since who knows when. Um, the guy is very elusive. You'll never see anything on him. If you go to type stuff in, there's barely anything. Okay. He's always working on projects, but he's always mixed in with some kind of, like I showed you here, you got the E, and then I won't say donkey, the meta, and I won't say machine, then the hind, and I won't say site. These like layers of stuff, okay? And the one is a government agency. So, and the top one, that's the one that's the .us. So that's coming from like the top. And when the top wants to investigate how to use a picture to find something on the internet, or you type in a key phrase or certain words, this thing that, let's say, Jed helped make helps track and find shit. That's what I pretty much figured out in about the 4 hours that I've studied. Um, so yeah, took a lot of work for all that. And there's the overnet thing, and I guess overnet's like the top boss of them all. See, it just never ends. It's another layer. Um, yeah, it's just I'm clicking out of it because it starts getting overwhelming, and I'm done. Let me click out of this, get rid of all this off my computer. But it's like, it's never ending. This guy. I'm thoroughly convinced that this Jed dude has been working for the government since he's probably a sophomore in high school. Um, he's got brains like that. Don Foley, thank you for that donation. Appreciate it. Michelle Wilkie, I love the show. The best deep dives. Those who understand, get the whole picture, will benefit from all your handiwork. Thank you. Pre artificial intelligence. Let me check some comments here. And how about Molly Elmore? I don't usually follow people on YouTube, but once in a while I stumble upon a couple of sleazy content creators. The only one I follow is Crypto Hulk for information. Says good old Paul. Let's see here. Jed is Justin's son. No, those are two separate people. Both those guys are up to no good. Justin's going back and forth to China helping them. They're the reason we got Ripple China is because Justin's son. He gets a free pass too from the government. Hulk ruins it for watching other shows. I can't enjoy them anymore. Some really nice people, but so shallow. Look, the other channels, look, it's all about sponsorship. You got to get the numbers and the sponsors. And the sponsors don't want you to talk about real shit. If you sprinkle news and stuff, okay, you get sponsored. But if you start exposing shit like me, oh, you can't have sponsors. So that's why you're the sponsors of the channel. If you like the information, become a member. That's all that I'm asking. I got two different levels. I got the $4.99 and the $9.99 levels. If you're paying more than that, it's because your credit card company charges you extra, or your conversion rates in your country are different. But it's $4.99 American and $9.99 American. That's the price that Google charges. Okay. But I try to give you the best information. I realize this show can be heavily shadow banned, but I want you to have information so you can see like a deep picture. I've always loved history, loved it in fifth grade and up when they start showing the movies of the history or documentaries, and when they studied the life of an ex-president or Abraham Lincoln. I always like learning how the Civil War happened and stuff. So last night, I wanted to figure out what the hell's going on with Jed. So I found some stuff out. I'm not going to dig any deeper than this because I know where this ends up, with me probably in handcuffs or me in a room with a bunch of government people talking about how I'm not allowed to use the internet anymore. That's usually where it ends up. So I'm not going to dig any deeper on this shit. For the no tax fund, chief, as we like it. So again, some people decide to give donations, some give memberships. If you give donations, YT doesn't make anything and the government doesn't make anything. I get all of that. So it means I got no tax on donations. All right. Thank you there, Toter Gramata. Toter Gramata. Been on the show for a while. Let's see. Yeah, I looked up the Mount, and I won't say Gawk stuff. That's scrubbed. Like I can't find a damn thing on. That's how you know the government's involved with that whole internet exchange kind of ripoff scandal thing. Like, because there's not, I can't find any good information on that. It's like very strange, you know. The government just wiped it clean. So yeah. All right. S Dennis 123. My social credit score probably sucks. E donkey. I know. See that, and we just did the article the other day, right? About how they're wanting to. I forgot what website was for, but they're wanting to have everybody do a verification on social media on who's what, because we got to protect children. And I'm just like, oh my God. That's the same fucking line they use with drugs. Oh, we got to do whatever to protect children. And then gun control. Oh, yes, we got to protect children. That's so fucking stupid. Then they'll go abort these kids. Even after a child's born, they'll try to do that shit. I'm like, what are you, what? That's sick. That's like very bad behavior. When a human life comes out, then you're trying to, there's going to be payback. You can believe in karma or whatever. I already know what's going on. Those motherfuckers doing that shit to fetuses, oh man, you got some answering to do when your time's up. It's not going to be fun. All right. Let me see. I got about 15 minutes and I'll just go with this. China is dumping 100 billion in treasuries. Let me send you the article. China dumps 101 billion 900 million US treasuries in 12 months. Now, they have a total. It went from 860 billion. Now we're at about 760 billion. The total that China has is like almost a trillion. So, China is holding a lot of American treasuries. They dumped them. There's been some commentary predicting the dollar is destined for a demise, potentially an imminent demise. Now, this might bring on a black swan if China keeps dumping this stuff. If they just dump this once, it's not going to cause a black swan. What if they continue? What if 3 months from now they dump another 100 billion? Or maybe they do this one. I'm just letting you know that they're busting a move right now. I don't know how quickly this will happen. The article's talking about there could be, I'm not saying there will be, but I'm going to tell you what, they always start off this stuff real slow, and then they give you the pow. Just how Russia went into Ukraine. What they do? Russia lined up all their forces, said, oh, we're just having a training exercise. And their Secretary of State lied and said, oh, yeah, we're not going to invade. We're just having a training. And then when it happened, like the next day they invaded. I'm like, wow. So that's how this stuff happens. China dumps 100 billion. Oh, we're not going to do anything. And the next month, it's just, that's how it all starts. So I wanted to show you that I think this could be bringing on a black swan. I'm not going to deep dive this thing. There's really nothing to deep dive it. It's more of get ready, get your investments diversified. Like I said, buy some copper. Okay, see some of these other things I've talked about. I'm in a free show now, so I can't really give up all the free stuff. But we're going to go over other types of investments and not just cryptocurrencies. Michelle Wilk shows the hippo getting wrecked. Thanks for the tax-free donation. I appreciate that very much. It keeps YT's greedy little fingers off my money and the government. Let's go to the next article. Fast settlements. I know there's two. Okay. There's a website service that gives news. It's called Payments, Pymnts. It's a pretty good website. I'll usually always, where's Dennis again? 5 Dennis, 1, 2, 3. As long as there is a substantial trade deficit, China will retain some U.S. treasuries. That's an area I'm not really familiar with, is treasuries. Faster settlements. Here's the title: Payments, Pymnts. Payments is a website that is legit. There's no hype. There's no dumb shit. It's strictly a payments website. They'll have people from like they'll have interviews with like JP Morgan people. It's in my opinion a very sophisticated and reputable website. So I get my news regularly from payments. www.pymnts.com. Great website. Anyhow, they're talking about from Canada, United States, and Mexico, we're all switching over to a faster payment system. It's what they call time plus one. It's basically this: all institutions have to settle securities transactions in less than 24 hours. So it used to be a day when you could go buy something or sell something, and it would take 3 days to clear. And then it took 2 days. Now they're going to make it to where it takes 1 day. Okay. I'm going to kind of speed up this article. You can read it for yourself. I spent a lot of time on the Donkey Balls article. If you scroll down to where it says enhancing B2B transaction speed while improving reliability, you'll look down here at the 3rd paragraph. It starts off, and as Sovos Chief Technology Officer, let's scroll down here. A transition supported by innovations like the Clearinghouse, RTP Network, and FedNow. What's going on is the world is going to be using a Clearinghouse real-time payment network and a FedNow service to settle money faster. They're showing those two as examples that the world's going to follow. So this article is talking about faster payments and how the stock markets from Canada to Mexico are all going to process in 1 day or less transactions. Everybody, the goal is 2 to 5 seconds or whatever, 2 to 6 seconds. That's going to be the goal. I'm showing you now, they're speeding it up. You're not going to be rich tomorrow. I don't know when they go to T plus 6 seconds, okay? But they're making that step. Now, there's 2 companies that are in the lead, and they mention them by names. It's not Ethereum, it's not Bitcoin, okay? It is the Clearinghouse Real-Time Payment Network and FedNow. Now let's look at the first one real quick and show you where that Ripple's right involved in this, and it's not Ethereum and it's not Bitcoin, all right? I don't care how much they cost, it doesn't fucking matter. Ripple partner FIS teams up with the Clearinghouse. There you go. That article is right there. You can read it for yourself. That was about 4 years ago. Think about that one. Next, you got a Ripple page right here, dated 2017. So we've already got the Clearinghouse. Let's work on FedNow, okay? Because that's the article mentioned. Those 2 companies are leading the world, right? So we look here at the Ripple page, 2017. Federal Reserve Task Force says Ripple improves speed and transparency of global payments. If we look here in the first paragraph, the Federal Reserve released its Faster Payments Task Force Action Plan. So the Federal Reserve has an action plan for federal payments. And it highlighted Ripple's ability to underpin the next generation of cross-border payments. Interesting, isn't it? Now, the Federal Reserve picked about 57 different crypto companies or money payment companies to be on their task force. And Ripple, on June 29th, 2023, the Federal Reserve announced that it approved 57 early adopter entities, including Ripple. Now, if you're brand new and you need any more help, let me show you this one. Since we're talking about the Federal Reserve and faster payments, right? Do you know who the number 2 guy is at the Federal Reserve? I'll give you a hint. The first guy, that's Jerome Powell. He's the number 1 guy, Jerome Powell. Who's the number two guy? You're looking at him right here in this picture. Ex-Ripple advisor Michael S. Barr is confirmed as top financial watchdog. This article is dated almost 2 years ago. Michael S. Barr, former Ripple advisor, is now number two guy. He was actually an executive. Michael S. Barr worked for Ripple. He was an executive up at the top. Now he's the number two guy at the Federal Reserve. And we're talking about the Federal Reserve payments and all that FedNow shit. And Ripple's a partner of that. I don't see Bitcoin or Ethereum there. Do you? No, I don't. How much time we got? I can't get into this next one. 5 minutes. I got another conspiracy, but it's Bill Quackenbush. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Appreciate every single donation. Keep this channel going, and YouTube can shove it with their corporate sponsorships. I'll do that one. I got to go over that deep dive later. So I just got done doing a deep dive. That's way too much. Oh, shoot, the whole show. Okay, we'll do this one here. This one, the state of Oklahoma gives Bitcoin miners a free pass. Hold on. 5 Dennis 123 says FedNow uses XRP and XLM. India said they will process cross-border payments with FedNow, and every other country is likely. And who's the number two at the Federal Reserve? Michael S. Barr, ex-Ripple executive. I think we all know where this is going. All right. So there's your article with Bitcoin. The Senate in Oklahoma Senate passes the bill for tax exemptions on Bitcoin and crypto mining, aiming to boost local blockchain industry. The Oklahoma Senate approved House Bill 1600, which grants tax exemptions to Bitcoin and crypto mining operations. The bill, which now awaits the governor's signature, was passed by the Senate 29 to 50, so 2-1, following a successful vote in the House 68 to 20. Oh, Oklahoma's not playing. Of course, this doesn't happen in California, where all the crypto companies are. Not a big deal. House Bill 6, it targets the commercial mining of digital assets, proposing tax-exempt status. You know what's going to happen in Oklahoma? All these big corporations are going to start moving there, mining Bitcoin. I hope you guys got enough electricity. You better have that solar and all that. Go to Joe Biden, get that Go Green and all the solar. But the only thing with the solar, only works when it's sunny out. So you better have a lot of those batteries from Elon Musk to store all the energy. He emphasized that the legislation clarifies and protects Oklahomans interested in digital assets, ensuring that the state remains neutral without imposing additional taxes. That's what I'm talking about. Oklahoma, right on. I've never moved there. You couldn't pay me. But I got to say, that's pretty cool. Oklahoma knows what's up. California, we'll just allow more illegals coming in. We already pay for all their medical and shit and all their housing and their food and for their 10 babies that the women have from these loser guys. But that's okay. Oklahoma is going to have business move in. In California, we have bums move in. And let's see. Oh, I got another good one. The Ripple page. I think I'll end it there. I actually probably have for later a show. I don't know if I'm able to make another show today, but I've got a mini deep dive on XDC and how XDC was started by the Chinese. And then I got a Ripple page, 6-page report, which is very interesting. And but I don't have time for that. It's already 1 hour right now. My brain's kind of done. Keith Williams, thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. Love XDC. Wait till you see the show I'm going to do. I'll try that. I'll try to make that XDC program a private program because you're not going to believe what I found out about XDC. It's not what you think. Oh, wait, no capital gains tax in Texas either. Oh, yeah. Oklahoma is one of the cheapest places to live in the United States. XDC is way undervalued. Got that right. All right, that'll be it. I'm done. Hopefully, I still have my channel later today. We got to kind of watch it here, buddy. On all the deep diving Crypto Hulk. You're pulling out all the skeletons, the buried skeletons that they tried to hide. My name's Crypto Hulk. That'll do it for this morning. I'll see y'all in my next broadcast.